Hello everybody, my name is Gabe. Today I'm going to be doing my final project video for our cinema class, and I'm going to be discussing the 1951 film An American in Paris by director Vincente Minnelli. I will be analyzing it through a film audience lens. So my first topic I'm going to be talking about is audience identification and validation. So basically this idea is if an audience member is sitting in the theater and they see a character or an idea or a value that they can identify with, they relate to it. If it's shown in a positive light, they'll feel validated. If it's shown in a negative light, they will feel invalidated. And this has profound psychological effects on the audience. So the demographics who I think would be validated from watching this film are pretty much only white straight people. So I say that the white straight men and women are going to be validated from this film because they see themselves in the film, they are represented, and they are represented in generally a positive light. They're not made to feel ashamed because they are white or straight or male or female. These are all seen as normal things in the 1951 society. So white straight members of the audience will watch the film and feel validated. They feel like they have a place in society, they belong in the culture, because they can see themselves in the movie belonging in that culture. I think the film also shows its support for some more old-fashioned traditional ideas, such as only monogamous heterosexual relationships are shown as acceptable. So that's one man, one female, and together in one relationship. That's the only type of relationship that's really portrayed in the film. Nowadays in 2023, we've got a lot more types of relationships, but this is the only one that's shown in the film. So the film sends the message that that's the only acceptable relationship that there is. Now we know, of course, that's not true. As far as people who would be invalidated from watching this film, demographic-wise, anyone who's not a straight white person watching this film really is not going to see themselves have representation. So it's not that the film is sending a direct message or being outwardly racist or homophobic. It's just that there is no representation. So people of color, members of the LGBTQI plus community, people who are in more contemporary relationships, such as maybe polyamorous relationships or things of that nature, those things and those demographics and those people are not shown in the film, like, at all. So people watching are going to feel invalidated, feel left out, feel like they don't belong in our culture and our society. And I think this is important to talk about because that can have a really big psychological impact. I'm going to borrow a little bit from a old-fashioned film theory known as the hypodermic needle film theory. I should say first off that this theory is outdated and kind of disproven today, because it assumes that the audience members are all passive and they all react to messages from films in the exact same way. They just kind of let the film's messages get injected into their brains as if it was from a hypodermic needle. Basically brainwashing, kind of. And so that's disproven now because we don't react all the same. But I'm still borrowing this idea because that theory endorses the notion that film can be really, really powerful, have a direct influence on the audience, and can manipulate people. People who are validated can really feel like they belong, they feel good about themselves, whereas people who are invalidated or not shown at all are going to feel left out and worthless and lonely, and that can be a big problem in society. So my next topic is why would our audience want to come and watch An American in Paris? And I've got a couple of reasons that I've thought of. Starting out with, they want to see the actors in the film. So if they know of Gene Kelly or Leslie Caron, if they're fans of those actors, of course they would want to come and see their actors perform. Same deal with the director, Vincente Minnelli. If they like his directing style, then why not go see another one of his films? Fans of the musical romance genre, I think, of course, if they know they like the genre, they're going to like this film, because I personally identify this as a musical romance film, with all the singing and the dancing and the bursting into song and romance, lovey-dovey stuff. Also, this was an American film, released in America, and it takes place in Paris, though. So I think that Americans who want to taste or want to experience the different culture of Paris would want to come and watch this film, because it can kind of give them a window into what it's like overseas in Europe. A big part of why I think audiences would want to come and watch this film comes from the uses and gratifications theory. So this directly contrasts the theory that I talked about earlier, the needly one, with the injection of ideas straight into people's brains. That assumed that the audience was totally passive, whereas this theory instead suggests that audience are the ones who hold all the power, and they are actively seeking out different types of media to fulfill certain needs. So instead of the film dominating them and being powerful over the audience is actually being powerful over the film, and they are using the film to satisfy needs such as escapism, personal identity, and social needs. My last topic is going to be the target audience for An American in Paris. Again, a lot of this has to do with the genre and my identification of the film as a musical romance film. So typically, I think that people who would enjoy this film the most would be traditionally thought of as women between the ages of their teenage years and maybe 35, 40 years old. Anywhere in that range is traditionally thought to enjoy romance films. As for the musical part of the genre, I think that would be great for families to come and watch. But of course, these are just my subjective ideas. I think anybody can enjoy the film. Also, I feel like singers and dancers would be able to interpret the dancing and the singing the most, and therefore be able to kind of glean the most from this movie. That's about all I've got for you guys. This is the end of my my film project video. I am Gabe. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a fantastic day.